Hello, fight fans, and welcome to my show. I am your host, the J-Man, and today I'd like to be talking about the difficulty of making MMA predictions. Now, there's a lot of people all over the internet, all kinds of fight fans, not just MMA fans, but boxing fans too. But I'm specifically talking about MMA. People just like to make predictions, and that's good, that's great. Being able to share your predictions and having your predictions come true is really good. But I just want to let everybody know how difficult it is to make these predictions and to actually have your predictions come true. It's not easy because there are so many factors that go into an MMA fight. Okay? Not only are there a lot of disciplines involved in a mixed martial arts fight, there's also the fighters themselves. Okay? For example, the fighters themselves come from different backgrounds, different ages, all kinds of different physical guys, health issues. You never know with the fighter at any given time what they're going through in their life. And certainly their mindset and their mental aspect going into a fight plays a big factor. It's very important. For example, if a fighter is going through some kind of frustration or mental anguish, if he's depressed because something happened in his life, such as when Vitor Belfort, his sister went missing for so many years and he was searching for her frantically. I'm sure that did a lot to his performance. It made his performance suffer because he had that stuck on his mind. Ego plays ego plays an important role. All kinds of situations. You never know what situation exactly a fighter is going through at any given time, at any given moment. Maybe he just got through with a nasty divorce. We're not always sure. There's a lot of media coverage, a lot of interviews and training videos that you can find online. You can watch them on TV or wherever. You watch those videos and you get a little bit. You just get a tiny bit of information about the fighter, what he's going through, what his game plan is, maybe not. They don't usually share their strategy, and that's good. But my point is that those videos just are the tip of the iceberg. They skim the water. There's not nearly enough information to draw any real conclusions. And the videos are designed that way on purpose. Because fight promotions don't want their audience to know everything. They don't want their audience to be able to predict the fights. If the fights are predictable, they're not fun to watch anymore. No one really wants to see predictable fights. Part of their success is that they're able to put together these unpredictable fights, these well-balanced, equally matched fights. So, it's fun to make these predictions, but it's really difficult to nail them on the head. What are we able to gather? What information are we able to use to make intelligent predictions? Well, we can look at the fighter's previous performances. His last fight, his most recent fight, how did he do? Did he knock the guy out? Did he win by split decision? Was it close? Did he perform well? Did he perform poorly? More specifically, was his striking up to par? Was his cardio up to par? All of those factors. Based on that alone, we're able to somewhat figure out how the next fight is going to go. How much have they improved? Some fighters will go from being a total loser one day in one fight. It seems like they have no experience, or they don't know what they're doing. They're sloppy. Their cardio is, pathetic. Whatever. They do a complete 180 in their next fight. They turn around, get with the right training camp, cut weight properly, whatever, diet, nutrition plan, exercise, everything turns around. They perform great in their next fight. They win. And it's like, wow, what happened to this guy? How would you predict that? And that has happened. It doesn't happen a lot. It's rare, but it still happens. But a lot of fighters are predictable. They build up a routine and things that you can expect to see from them. I'm not going to name any names, but those fights are much more predictable. But there are a lot of fights. A lot of the fights that are put together are guys that we have no real anything to judge them on. They don't have much experience, so we're not sure about them. And then we have the main events are even sometimes hard to predict. The main events are usually the easiest to predict because they're the fighters that have proved themselves. All right. So those are usually the easiest to predict. But then again, the main events are put together because they're usually two guys that are at the top of their game. Their skills are both really good. They've refined their skills in almost every aspect of the game. On the ground, standing up, their cardio, everything. Everything's put together. So those can be even harder to predict sometimes because they equally match their skill sets. Now, you got to give a little bit of credit where credit is due. The matchmakers put together some pretty well-balanced fights. They'll put together fights against two guys that are known for their jiu-jitsu, known for their submissions, or they'll put a fight together with two guys that are knockout experts or brawlers. They do that on purpose. But it's really hard to decide who's going to win, how, and why. Mostly because of all the different fighting disciplines that are out there. In mixed martial arts, there are a lot of different forms and styles of fighting that are all acceptable. They're all legal. And you don't know exactly how it's going to play out. How is Muay Thai going to go up against kickboxing? How is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu going to go against freestyle wrestling? And we're never quite sure. It's more about how the fighter applies their skills to the fight. How do all those factors come together and work or don't work for the fighter? One guy could be, for example, very strong, a heavy hitter, known for his knockout power in his right hand, but maybe he doesn't have the best chin. His opponent might have a better chin. His opponent might be a more technical striker. Okay? Therefore, who are you going to say will win? Okay, you obviously say the more technical striker would win in that scenario. But then again, what if that guy with the weak chin is very elusive? What if he has really good footwork and he knows how to dodge? Then who's going to win the fight? Well, it's most likely going to be a stalemate or a draw, unless a guy has another skill set he's going to use. Like if someone has a wrestling skill set, they're going to tackle the guy, go for the takedown, get the takedown, and then it's going to be what? About what? Wrestling skill? Or is it strength? Or size? Or maybe even the jiu-jitsu, the submission skills. So you never really know. Every fighter has a chance. With MMA, it's always a mixed bag. You just need to keep that in mind whenever you're listening to predictions. Don't give the person who's predicting too much heat, too much criticism, because it's truly difficult to do this. Thanks.